Hello, my name is Rick Betenbough. I'm chairman of Cornerstone, which is our longtime holding company, which owns Betenbough Homes. I was president of Betenbough Homes for 25 years, and my dad, Ron, and I started Betenbough Homes in 1992. Dad was a businessman my whole life, and I grew up going to work with him, and I always knew in my heart that I wanted to be a businessman. And even though for a while I worked for a software company in business, I was just always kind of biding my time because I just knew that one of these days I was going to be in business. Well, in those early years from 1992 on, it was just Dad and I. We didn't have any other people, not initially anyway, not for the first year. We built 5 homes to start and tried to find some buyers, and Dad sold all 5 of those homes at one time, and then they all 5 fell out. And he was a little nervous about that. I mean, is this going to work? And I remember one weekend, he called me Sunday afternoon, probably 5 o'clock in the afternoon. He was all excited. He had sold 5 homes on that day, and we didn't have a sales office. He did that on a card table, you know, one of those folding 4-foot card tables. He'd set up one of those card tables in a cul-de-sac, and he'd sold 5 homes that afternoon off that card table. And I know he just did what he does. He made friends with the kids, let the adults talk about, you know, what we should buy, do we want to do this? And then he'd come over in his grandfatherly way like he does and just say, well, y'all ready to buy a home? And they just nearly always said, yeah, we are. And so that was a really fun way that we did things. One of the things that God did in those early days was just at the right time bring along people to add to our little clan that really made a difference. He brought along Bob Smithson in 1996, I think. Bob raised me and really helped me, taught me lots of things. And he did it in a gentle, fatherly way, maybe more like an uncle since my dad was actually present all this time. Bob really, as an uncle, would come along and just kind of straighten out and try to smooth out the rough edges as I grew in my leadership. And he meant a lot to me and really developed some early discipline in me, like getting together early in the morning as a team and planning what we were going to do. That's a Bob thing. He brought that to me. And of course, that's something in our culture that exists today. But sometime in the early 2000s, I felt like the Lord came to me and said, you need to take these managers that are around you and you need to bring them together and form a leadership team. A team that is going to lead this company. A team that is going to be the first real strong team. And he used that time. That was John and Carrie and Bob and a guy named Charlie in our sales team and Holly and I. And he brought us all together and he asked me to tell them that we're going to be a leadership team and we're going to develop a management team to take care of all the people that are going to eventually come aboard. Because we don't want to leave anybody behind. And the first thing we had to do was become a real team. We spent probably 4 or 5 years doing that, and we became equally yoked under God, and then we began developing a management team. And 2004, 2005 were the years that the Lord started bringing people who to this day are our leaders now. That class of 2004, 2005, 2006, that team is now leading the company. One of the things the Lord told me was, I want you to develop this team to protect me, protect you, Rick, because one person trying to lead would be crushed over time, especially as the organization grew. We could not have dreamed what we have now. I remember what I was thinking in 1992 even, what Dad and I talked about. And at that point, we never would have dreamed that we'd have 150 employees, build 7,000 homes. Those are things way out of our ability to see. We say all the time to each other, thank you, Lord, for giving us your vision, not our vision, because our vision was pretty small. I think if we'd have had that vision, we'd have been confused, we'd have been frustrated. I wouldn't have known how to begin. The Lord just showed us one thing at a time. You know, you start, Rick. You hire Bob. Learn from Bob. Develop a leadership team now, Rick. Bring these people together. Invite them to think about a time when they don't have an operational role. In 2002 or 2003, I invited all of us, Holly, Dad, Charlie, Carrie, John, Bob, give away your responsibilities so that we can be pure leaders, so that we can lead the people. And all the responsibilities will be their responsibilities other than taking care of them. That's what the Lord showed us. And that is this relational leadership style that we use even today. Well, I think God is going to continue this ministry of His that's disguised as a home building company that develops people to their full potential. That's what we do, and that's what we've always done, and that's the way God does this.